Said that he, change your address. I don't want bombs coming through my letterbox. Sort of you're brainwashed. Really, really, really hurtful things. Really. I was in university and it was sort of the first day of second year uni. There was the Islamic Society in the sort of, I wouldn't say a convention area, but it was loads of different stalls about uni, all the different societies, yeah, open day, exactly. And on open day I found the Islamic Society. And they started like taught me, and they were so welcoming, and they just started telling me more about Islam stuff, and they had like little welcome days, and I went along to one of those. And also one of my friends also reverted. She didn't have a husband or anything, she just reverted off her own back, and she used to come over to my house and show me these videos of how Islam's the truth, and it really sort of resonated with me. And when I learnt more about it, I realised that this is something I wanted to follow in my life. And then I met a sister, and she started telling me more about Islam and what it means to be a Muslim. And then I decided that I did want to be a Muslim, a practicing Muslim. When I first reverted, I didn't tell my dad at first, because my dad is an extremely Islamophobic person, and I had one of the major struggles for me was that I was new, so I wanted to please Allah, but I also loved my dad, and I also wanted to please my dad. So what I used to do was I would, at my house where I lived, I would wear hijab, I would wear abaya at university. When I would go home, I would take it off. I'd just look like a normal white British girl and go home. And one of the really hard things with that, that was quite hard. And the more I got familiar with Islam, and the more I started to love it, the more I started to not go home, avoid going home, because I hated taking off my hijab, and I hated also lying to my dad, and it was so hard that I just stopped going home, and I used to cry all the time, and it was very hard, because it was this fact of I'm lying. I'm Muslim, and that was one of the biggest struggles when I first told my dad. It was a lot of hate, it was a lot of misconceptions, a lot of almost racism, Islamophobia, and you do think at that time, I'm never going to get a relationship, I'm never going to repair this relationship, my dad's going to hate me. And so when I told my dad I was Muslim, I told him through his girlfriend, and he reacted very, very negatively. So first of all, he said that he disowned me as a sister, astaghfirullah. He disowned me as a daughter. He said that he, change your address. I don't want bombs coming through my letterbox. Sort of you're brainwashed. Really, really, really hurtful things. Really. I know it sounds a little bit cheesy, but just follow your heart, do your research, find the truth, and with that you will find happiness.